Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Am I the Bad Person? So, today we're actually going to be talking about how money can influence not just your own position in life, but also the positions of others once they actually start to earn money. So, let's dive right into a few scenarios of how money can influence these kinds of relationships. So, the first question is: am I the bad person for reacting angrily when my boyfriend finished an entire bottle of salad dressing in a 24-hour period? Hi everyone, I know this sounds so silly. Yesterday I purchased a whole normal sized bottle of salad dressing for the meal I was planning to make. For context, I am the breadwinner in my household and buy almost all the groceries, pay the mortgage, etc. I have a great relationship with my partner, but yes, I just can't shake the fact that we had such a big disagreement over something so silly. Anyways, I'm pretty normal with how I dress my salad. So I know that the bottle would last me for at least 1 to 2 weeks. We go to have our meal tonight and I see that the dressing is all gone. My feeling is that my partner had just plowed through something that I purchased in 24 hours. I find it kind of greedy and unnecessary. I brought this up with him like, hey, can you maybe try to use less salad dressing so this can last longer? It turned into a huge argument where he laughed in my face and said that I was breaking his balls over salad dressing. I buy most of the groceries and have had this occur many times before. Things that I purchase disappear before I can even get to them. We've had this discussion. We've had this discussion before. He thinks I'm being observed over caring about a few dollars worth of dressing. I'm trying to think big picture, like hello, we don't need to plow through food goods like that. Especially when I'm the one buying them. We don't have kids. It's just the two of us. Am I the bad person? So, I would say in this situation, you're not the bad person. And the reason for that is because sometimes in life, when we're the ones actually purchasing the items in our household, it's easy for the person who didn't purchase it to not really see the value of it because they didn't really have to earn it. So, I totally, you have my sentiment in the sense of like, yeah, it wasn't right that he just went through all your stuff and he's constantly going through your stuff. And you're working hard to actually not just buy the groceries, but actually like pay the mortgage and do other items. So overall, like you have as much right to be angry about the things that you work hard for as anyone else. So definitely, you're not the bad person in this situation. Am I the bad person for not providing any kind of extra support for my kids' other household? I have two children, 11F and 8M, with my ex, and we share physical and legal custody of them. I pay child support because I'm a high earner, then my ex, and the child support is minimal, $150 monthly, but it's supposed to help balance things between both homes. My ex is married again, and her family has grown, in the house with her and her husband, his 3 children under 10, and their 2 shared children under 5. My ex and her husband struggle financially and have attempted to increase child support 5 times in the last 4 years. The court turned down their request for more child support each time. Twice in front of a judge, and the other times we did not even make it before a judge before it was denied. My ex was reminded that child support is meant to provide for our kids, not for her family as a whole. My ex argued that the financial burden impacts them, but this was not deemed worthy of a child support increase. They were looking for an increase to make it $800 a month. My ex has independently asked me to give her $50 here and there, or to buy stuff for the other children in their home. This happens even when our children are in my home. I always say no. I've told my ex that I am not responsible for supporting her other children, and now I will never provide for them financially. Recently, this became a more intense issue on their side because our daughter's birthday and her youngest stepchild are a week apart, and our daughter had a great time and got gifts at both my house and her mom's, and she had a big birthday party that I hosted. While my ex's stepchild didn't get much and had no party. They could not afford one. I have been asked twice to send some gifts for the other child. My ex also wanted the other kids invited. My daughter didn't. So they weren't invited. It pissed my ex off, but then her stepkids' lunch accounts went to negative days after the birthdays were both over. And since I topped off our kids, she wanted me to do it for her stepkids. And I said no again. She called me a monster, asked how I could live with myself knowing my children's other family are struggling and are literally drowning in financial difficulty, and I could help out but choose not to. Am I the bad person? So, I would say you're not the bad person in this situation, and I'll tell you why. The reason for that is because when you really think about it, just because someone has the resources to help the entire world doesn't mean that, they're obligated to do that. It's you're the one who is the breadwinner of your own life. You if you had your own kids and you bear the responsibility of your own kids, I completely agree with that sentiment. But it's not an obligation for you to help every single person in the world, especially, considering like how hard you may work for your money. So it doesn't make sense to me that people would just expect that, you could just hoist money here, hoist money there. It just leaves a sour taste in my mouth because, it's not about the money that you have, but it's effectively who you choose to spend it on, because it's up to you as the breadwinner to decide where the money is allocated to. Considering, I would say high priority, of course, is your own kids and yourself. Of course, if you want to give your wife something, that's fine, or your ex, I guess, in this case. But other than that, you have no expectation of like providing for anyone else. So I would say you're not the bad person in this situation. Alrighty, let's move on to the next question. Am I the bad person for calling my close friend an idiot and money suck because she wants me to pay to bond with her kid? This is such a stupid situation, but alas, I, 28F, have a longtime friend, Lena, 29F. We've known each other since middle school, had our slips, ups, and downs, but things have been fine overall. Lena's life isn't super easy. She had her first child, Maya, at 16, and had a couple more before she was 24. I'm a godmother of the younger two, but not Maya, since I was so young when she was born. Still, I love Maya to death, and I've always been like an aunt to her. Lena has financial issues, and I try to help her whenever I can. I don't charge to babysit. If I have extra money, I'll buy them a few groceries, etc. I try to do that what I can financially, but I'm not rich myself, so it's not always a lot. Lena also asks me for help a lot, though, and I give what I can because I don't want my godchildren going without, even when it puts me in an uncomfortable financial situations. Anyway, Maya feels she's getting a little too old to always be playing around with her younger siblings, so I started taking her out with me on various outings on Saturdays. Over the past few years, Lena has started getting Maya into modeling and influencing. It was a slow start, but she's a super cute kid and things are starting to pick up. She knows Maya and I have this standing date for a few hours every Saturday. Lena came to me this morning to talk about this upcoming wedding, and apparently things are really starting to take off for Maya. Lena has already had to turn down quite a few shoots/gigs, whatever, because she wanted to be considerate of our bonding time. Says that that's no longer feasible because they're starting to pay more. She doesn't, however, want our time together to stop necessarily. She just wanted me to pay her the money Maya would be missing out on if she could have had the gig that day. The one she can book this weekend is apparently $400. I won't lie. I laughed at her face at first. I thought it was some weird joke. Like, you're dealing with a future superstar or something. But no, she was dead serious. She wanted me to pay for the luxury of hanging out with Maya. The conversation basically ended with the title. Am I the bad person for being so rude to her? So this is a very tricky situation. There's times where, for example, you start off with, not being able to, make money, or you're someone who's effectively starting off in your career. And sometimes, blessings to everyone that, does make it to the next level of, becoming famous and be able to monetize not just maybe their channel, but their career or their hobby. So, there's going to be a time where you have to deal with a difficult situation of, hey, do I continue to strive towards this? Or do I, continue to also hang out with people or be with my loved one? It's a very tough situation. So you just can't have both. You can't have like time with your loved ones and get paid for it. It's very unreasonable to expect that your loved ones will give you the equivalent value of whatever you would be paid at a gig or at an event or a sponsorship or whatever you want to call it. You yourself have to make the sacrifice of like, hey, if I want to spend time with this person and they're important to me, sometimes you'll have to lose out on not making this income. And in the industry, this is called opportunity cost. basically you're losing the opportunity to earn, let's say, $400 in this case, but you have the opportunity now to be with someone you really care about. So you just can't have both. It's like having your cake and eating it too. It just doesn't work. So I would say this person is being unreasonable, and you're not the bad person for saying such things as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Anthony and I'm the host of TheLostSanctuary. I hope you've been enjoying our content so far, and if you have, please feel free to like and subscribe. Also, we have our website up here, and we also have some socials down here, and as always, leave your comments down below.
Am I the bad person for not being friendly with my parents' daughter now that they've warmed up to me? I'm 42, dating Tim, 59, a widower. He's in banking, I'm a bartender. I know what it looks like. His two daughters thought the same thing, but he's broke as a joke. And I've got a trust fund, so actually no. He's broke because his late wife got cancer 3 times, he ran up 6 credit cards, second mortgage on the house, cashed out his retirement, everything, and anything to get her treatment she needed, and to get treatment enough to see both daughters married. His daughters live 6 hours drives away. We drove to them for Xmas last year and the year before. They ignored me, dragged him away when he tried to include me, and prevented their husbands from even small talk with me by talking over me. Tim, year 1. Tim chastised them. They apologized to him, not me. They blamed the pain of seeing their dad with a woman who wasn't their mom. Year 2, they did it again. This year I told Tim not again. He could go. I would never ask him not to see his daughters for Xmas, but I'll stay here. Tim didn't love the idea because me going with him means we can share the responsibility of driving when his back starts to bother him. He hates to fly. His 2010 death trap is starting to go anyway, so I leased him a comfy luxury ride. My brother has a dealership. He called the girl super excited that he'd be able to see them more often without having to worry about his back, who then blew up and accused them of spending their mother's money on a bullshit house and car to impress some bimbo bartender, and then offered them a dime for their weddings. In the ensuing argument came out that they assumed there had been a life insurance policy, nor did they have any idea about the credit card debt or the second mortgage that the house was underwater on, or that Tim was looking at foreclosure and bankruptcy until he moved in with me. They did not realize it was my house, that he pays the bill, he pays no bills, save the water bill, man, takes excessive shower, and shared groceries. Now the girls want my number. They are sorry. I felt lonely at Xmas. They want to come visit with us next year, conveniently in summer. I live near a beach. I've told Tim absolutely not about giving my number. I'm happy to be polite if they want to visit Tim, but we're not going to be friends. If they had talked to me for even 2 seconds, they would have understood. I'm not shy about admitting the only thing I had ever contributed to my blessed financial state is not developing a crippling coke addiction, like my cousin Danny did. Tim thinks I'm being too unforgiving. They would have warmed up to me eventually, but knowing how generous I am being with their father has made them warm up quicker. I maintain I don't care about now or later. They had their chance to not be catty brats over incorrect assumptions that I was taking advantage of him. So, in this situation, you're not the bad person, and the reason for that is because there's going to be times where, because of money, people are going to treat you one way or the other. And just because they now know you have money, doesn't mean that everything's going to be magically fixed. Where, now that we know she has money, we know that she's not a burden to us, she's actually going to be a help to us. So yeah, let's warm up to her and let's actually make her feel special. So I think this is a very rotten thing to do in general, where just because you think someone doesn't have money, you treat them a certain way, and then the second you know they have money, you treat them another way. I think that's the worst thing you could even do as a person. Because, no matter if the person has money or not, you should not be treating them any differently. So this is my honest opinion. So, whenever you meet someone, make sure that you treat them with the utmost respect. And if you happen to find out they do have money, blessings to them. And that's pretty much all you have to say. You don't have to be changing your character based on the financial position of someone. So that's my honest opinion, and keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job, and I'm wishing everyone out there all the best. All right, until next time, adios.